Everyone gets scared as the Kraken goes into the water after eating Vegeta. Goku flies to the site to see if he can sense Vegeta, but there is not a single trace. Suddenly, Goku sees some bubbles and a shadow coming from the water. In the blink of an eye, the Kraken launches at Goku to eat him too, but Goku barely manages to dodge it. Luckily, he sees Vegeta on one of the tentacles and Goku gets happy. He thought that the Kraken ate Vegeta, but Vegeta tells him to shut up. He hasn't adapted to the child's body yet, which is why he is having a hard time fighting the Tamagami. The Tamagami launches towards Vegeta and hits him with his trident. Vegeta is about to get eaten by the Kraken again, but this time, he changes into his Super Saiyan form and evades all of its attacks. Meanwhile, the Tamagami is also throwing magic blasts at Vegeta, which he dodges with ease. Suddenly, the Kraken appears from underneath Vegeta, and he flies up to avoid getting eaten, but the Tamagami hits Vegeta in the back with his blasts. Vegeta gets smoked and the Kraken gets out of the water to eat him. This time, Vegeta gets eaten for real and everything goes dark. In a fit of fury, Vegeta is enraged and his body starts emitting lightning. A huge explosion occurs in the Kraken's mouth and he spits out Vegeta. Vegeta gets out like a flash of lightning with his new form and the Kraken goes away because he can't eat anyone. The Tamagami keeps attacking Vegeta, but Vegeta evades all of the attacks and none of them even scratches him. The Tamagami attacks with his trident, but Vegeta turns around and throws his own blast, which he barely manages to evade. Vegeta goes into aggressive mode and he headbutts the Tamagami. The Tamagami uses his trident to take out Vegeta, but Vegeta throws punches and knees at his head. The two fight off in an engaging battle with both going toe-to-toe with each other. The battle is so fast that nobody can see what is going on and Goku is relieved. He says that Vegeta has got the warm-up he needed and everyone is amazed to see this fight. Pansy is shocked to see that even Vegeta can use magic. Meanwhile, Majin Buu is giving a hard time to the Tamagami number 1. He stretches his body and the Tamagami tries to catch him, but he hits his butt on the Tamagami's head. The Tamagami throws him into a wall, but Buu just bounces back. He's having a great time fighting the Tamagami and basically, Buu is just trolling him. The Tamagami uses his sword to slash him, but Buu just stands on the sword. With the Tamagami's guard down, Majin Buu throws a double punch at his face but stops when he is just inches away. The Tamagami's life flashes before his eyes and Arinsu as well as Ku wonders why Buu stopped. Suddenly, Majin Buu gets off of the sword and sits down like a kid. Majin Q asks Buu what is the problem and Buu says that he wants chocolate. Arinsu loses her cool and tells him not to be stupid and to finish the battle as it is very serious. Buu starts crying that he wants chocolate and Majin Q rushes to get some. The Tamagami notices the situation and goes near Buu calmly. He grabs him by his head and sends him flying into the wall, which scares Arinsu. He launches towards him, but then we see the Tamagami number 2 fighting Vegeta. The Tamagami is trying his best to finish Vegeta with his trident, but Vegeta is not going down so easily. He holds off against the Tamagami and Pansy is impressed to see that Vegeta is defeating a Tamagami. Nika laughs, and he had never thought that such an individual existed before. Therefore, he uses some kind of magic on the Tamagami, which lightens its eyes and also the Dragon Ball. Suddenly, the Tamagami starts transforming and Glorio asks what the old lad just did. Neva tells them that Vegeta and Goku like to fight, so he just gave the Tamagami some boost. The Tamagami goes into Berserker mode and headbutts Vegeta before throwing him into the water. Vegeta tries to escape quickly, but the Tamagami is too powerful, and he counters all of his attacks. Huge explosions start to occur in the water, and the Tamagami uses his trident to create a magical tornado. Vegeta gets caught in it, and he starts losing his oxygen. Meanwhile, Majin Buu is running for his life as the Tamagami number 1 is trying to get rid of him for good. The Tamagami uses all of his moves, but Buu simply evades all of them as he can't fight without his chocolate. Just in time, the Gendarmeries arrive as well, and they are shocked to see the Tamagami fighting. The Tamagami throws a mighty slash that shakes the castle, and King Goma wonders what is going on. Degusu changes the screen, and they are surprised to see the Tamagami fighting. Just when the number 1 Tamagami was about to finish Buu, Majin Buu arrived and threw a bar of chocolate toward him. Majin Buu eats it and gets a huge buff. He throws a mighty beam toward the Tamagami number 1, which puts him in defensive stance. Buu throws another one, and the Tamagami is sent flying against a wall. Number 1 quickly gets up, but he is severely injured. Goma wonders who the hell is this guy, and they zoom in to see Arinsu and Q. The Tamagami gets on his knees, and Buu turns into a spinning ball to take him out. Hence, the Tamagami turns into his final form, and the battle continues. The Tamagami tries his best to take him out, but Majin Buu evades all of his attacks and headbutts him. In the end, he uses his mouth beam, and the Tamagami launches his final sword strike, which blows up the whole arena. When the smoke settles, we see Majin Buu without a scratch and the Tamagami is lying on the ground. Everyone gets shocked, including Degisu and King Goma. The Tamagami gives up and Majin Buu and Arinsu celebrate with Buu. However, the Tamagami tells him that there is still one challenge before he can get the Dragon Ball. King Goma is confused and wonders if Majin Buu is Arinsu's servant. Degisu is pissed to see that his sister is betraying them. The Tamagami tells them that the last challenge is numerical addition. A lot of numbers will appear on the hologram and Majin Buu will have to answer their sum. Majin Buu is confused, but the numbers start appearing. The variation was slow at first, but the numbers started changing rapidly. Majin Buu can't keep up, but Majin Buu is really good with maths, so he memorizes all of the numbers. After a while, the numbers stop and Tamagami tells Majin Buu to answer. Arinsu is pissed because this is cheating as nobody can calculate it. Majin Buu is clueless as the Tamagami tells him to answer the sum, but Buu knows it, so he slowly tells Majin Buu the answer. Buu hears and it answers the sum of the numbers. When the Tamagami hears the numbers, he looks at the screen and it turns out that the answer is correct. Everyone is shocked to see this, and Arinsu wonders who is Majin Buu really. The Tamagami gets the ball out of his armor and gives it to Buu. Majin Buu starts jumping and gives it to Arinsu. He then flexes his moves and Majin Buu asks Arinsu if his assist was good. Arinsu doesn't know what he is talking about as she didn't hear Majin Buu's answer, but Buu is still happy. Goma is pissed as he can't believe that Arinsu took the ball from the Tamagami. Degisu is nervous and tries to cover it up by saying that Arinsu might be protecting the ball from the Earthlings. But Goma knows that she isn't doing this for him, so he tells Degisu that the last ball should be safe. Degisu hesitantly changes the screen and they are shocked to see that Vegeta is still fighting the Tamagami. They go inside the water once again and Vegeta throws a punch at his head, but the Tamagami doesn't even flinch, so he gut punches Vegeta and blows him off. Vegeta falls to the bottom of the ocean, and just when the Tamagami is about to finish the job, Vegeta blows up with energy and the Tamagami gets out of the water. Vegeta pushes even further and he turns into Super Saiyan 3. The area bursts with Vegeta's aura and even the Tamagami is shocked to see this new form. The Tamagami launches at him, but Vegeta evades the attack and throws him in the water with a single knee strike. He then goes into the water where the Tamagami uses his trident to take him out, but Vegeta evades all of the attacks with his fingers. He then uses his two fingers and breaks the trident. The Tamagami is not helpless and Vegeta throws a shockwave that divides the ocean. The Tamagami is sent flying in the void and Vegeta starts throwing kicks at him. Vegeta then throws him into the air and he is only using his legs to take out the Tamagami. After that, Vegeta prepares his Finna Flash and throws it straight toward the Tamagami, which he barely evades. But Vegeta comes out of nowhere and throws a mighty punch which sends the Tamagami straight into a moon. He then grabs him, but the Tamagami says that he gives up, so Vegeta throws him in the water and returns to his base form. Everyone is happy that he has defeated the Tamagami, and even Miva is surprised to see this. The Tamagami joins his trident and tells Vegeta that he is now going to face the final challenge. Vegeta is pissed, so the Tamagami tells him that he only has 10 seconds to answer. After that, the Tamagami starts giving a bunch of statements about cookies addition and subtraction, which makes Vegeta even more pissed. Nobody knows how many cookies can a snake eat, and Bulma thinks that they are doomed as Vegeta is not good with maths. The Tamagami tells him that only 5 seconds are left, and just when only 1 second is left, Vegeta answers. He tells the Tamagami that Ichiro the snake ate 0 biscuits because it is a snake. The Tamagami tells him that the answer is correct, and everyone is surprised to see it. The Tamagami gives the Dragon Ball to Vegeta, and everyone celebrates with him. Hyba says that Vegeta is really strong, so he dances for him. Goku tells him about the revived bugs, which work just like senzu beans, and tries to give them to Vegeta, but he doesn't eat. Shin tells them that it is time to go to the first demon world and save Dend. Everyone gets into the ship, but it isn't starting. Pansy took a look inside and she fixed the ship instantly. Meanwhile, Goma is frustrated as the second Dragon Ball is also gone and now they are coming to the first demon world. With the ship finally patched up, the gang blasts off toward the first demon world, ready to throw hands with whatever hell throws their way. Meanwhile, Goma's losing his damn mind, 2 Dragon Balls down, and those bastards are coming straight for his turf. We wrap up today's episode here, but there is more to come. If you're loving the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this madness with your friends.